Yo, let's talk about how much it really costs to start your own freight brokerage. I was looking at a video this morning on YouTube, and honestly, it made me a little bit frustrated because even the most reputable YouTubers, ones who claim that they have $50-100 million worth of sales over their whole career, they are giving you very false information. I haven't found one YouTuber who has given you accurate monthly costs on how much it really does take to start your own freight brokerage. It brought me to the point of frustration, and I was like, I have to get this out, and I have to pull this basically out of my course and tell you, because regardless of whether or not you are interested in buying the course that I have or buying someone else's, I want you to know the truth of how much it really costs on a monthly and annual basis. And also, what no one is teaching you is that there's two different routes that you can go as a freight broker. And I've never seen this being taught anywhere. So I'm pulling this out of my course, and I'm going to show you mandatory one-time costs around $650. Easy stuff. So you have to form your LLC. You have to get your MC number. And then you also have to get your business license. It depends on the city that you're in. I'm in Seattle, so I don't think I had to end up paying for this. And if I did, it was around $50. So in total, one-time cost, $650. Let's go down to annual costs. So you're looking at around $1,970. So you have to pay for a surety bond, which is slightly different than your liability insurance. Your insurance, is basically the insurance that you know about. And a surety bond, for example, is when let's say something really goes wrong and you can't pay your carrier for whatever reason. The carrier can end up basically going after your surety bond company, who basically then pays them out, and then you owe that. It's a whole thing. It's a whole other video. That's $900, and you have to get that. Process agent, that's a whole nother video as well. That's around $70. So in total, $1,970. This is what no one teaches you. We have two routes from here, okay? You pay everything. So this is what everyone teaches you. This is what I teach you as well, also on my course. You make 100% of the profit. So you pay for your load board, which can be around $150 a month. Sometimes you can get them for around $100 a month. Transportation management system. This is just where you organize all of the loads. You put all of your load information in there just to make sure everything is in one place. The one that I use is free. You have to have a CRM tool. So when you call on a shipper or you email them, you need to log everything that happened, all of your interactions that happened with shippers. And that's where you organize that stuff. That's $0 a month, but depending on how much you scale, yes, obviously you have to start paying. Carrier management tools. So I pay $200 a month, and this is one thing that I haven't heard one other person talk about. You pretty much have to get this, okay? There's a lot of scammers out there. There's a lot of truck drivers out there. There's some super shady ones, and there's really, really good ones though too. And so I thought it was very much worth my time instead of me, having to manually check a lot of stuff and take more time out of my day. You also need to find and book your own carriers if you do everything yourself. So you don't have a team, you're a one-man band when you first start out. It's a lot of time. There's a lot of paperwork that you have to send back and forth just to book one load. So you might get fed up with it and end up going with the other option that I'm about to talk about. And then let's pull down the annual costs, bring them down here into a monthly number. So you're looking in total with this stuff, including your annual costs, around $514 per month, realistically, when you first start out as a bare bones minimum. And that might sound like a lot, but just think, like, in order to start your own McDonald's, that's like $2 million, I think. And then in order to start like your own coffee shop, you're looking at like $500,000. So if you're thinking, $514, oh shit. Well, this is like the lowest cost to entry business you can build. And also, I do guarantee that you'll build a $300,000 freight brokerage within a year, so you can very much easily pay that off. I wouldn't let this number intimidate you, because within just a couple months, you can get your first shipper, book your first couple loads, and pay for that pretty easily. This is what no one else teaches you. Partnering with a 3PL. And yes, this is exactly what I do. So what they do, there's very specific companies who allow smaller freight brokers like me. I'm still a one-man band. I don't want to hire anyone for still a really long time. I move a lot of freight, probably between 100 to 200 loads per month. but I can very, very easily manage that, and I have to do pretty much nothing operationally on a daily basis. And I've also set up my brokerage where I have a lot of long-term contracts, a lot of super long-term freight. So I just have to hire one guy and just let them go for the whole year, and all I have to do is pay them once a week. So that's probably 90% of my freight. The other 10% of freight, I have a 3PL who does everything for me. That comes with the TMS. I use my own CRM, so you'd have to use a separate CRM, a customer relationship management tool, which is fine, $0. And then what they do is they take care of everything carrier related. So when you are received a load from a shipper, you're like, hey Matt, we want you to book this load to go from here to here. I basically forward that email over to the 3PL. They give me a rate, and then I send that to my customer. The customer rewards me the load, and then I tell the 3PL to literally just take it from there. And what they do is they take 50% of that margin. And yes, right off the bat, that does sound like a lot. But think about how much time it takes. Like if you're new and you haven't started this yet, maybe you don't know, but it can take some time to book a carrier. You have to send a lot of paperwork. You have to ask for tracking updates. You sometimes have never worked with a carrier before, so they have no credibility. Like you just don't know them, even if your carrier management tool says that they're legit. I personally don't want to deal with putting a lot of my time towards working with carriers. I've been able to make some pretty good carrier relationships off of my long-term contract stuff. I personally don't think it's worth it for me managing literally everything on my own. And I'll explain why in a second. They also give you the ability to pull reports for all the loads that they've booked for you, which is amazing. Like you don't really, if you wanted to pull that stuff for your own freight brokerage, you have to start spending some big money. They also have advanced rate tools, which brings historical rates back a lot farther than what a lot of other tools can bring you, which is awesome. And the cost for this for me is around $300 per month. They take about 50% of my margin, and that's really it. What my customers can also do is go on that portal, the 3PL portal, and they can put in their own loads. So I don't even have to do anything at all. So I've taught my customers basically how to do my job for me. That's the part that really excites me. I love the idea of partnering with a 3PL. I am so surprised no one has ever talked about this. It's a really innovative way for new freight brokers to get on their feet. You get to 100% focus your time on sales. That would run you about $464 per month if you include both the annual costs and the $300 a month. I think every 3PL kind of does it differently. The one that I use is awesome. They're great for LTL. I think a lot of the other freight broker YouTubers out there I think they think that they're being honest, but they don't understand how inaccurate they are because they haven't been in the industry for a long time. So I would be careful getting advice from someone who has already sold their business. I currently own mine and it's going very well, and I don't plan to sell it anytime soon. I get more than enough in order to sustain myself and my family with it. I'll see you on the next one.